welcome to Jenna Knits. My name is Jenna and I like knitting. I don't typically go live during the week, but I figured get a bonus video in while I'm home. I am not working this week. I did have surgery earlier this week, and so I've just been kind of resting. My throat's all messed up today. I don't know what that's about, but I just wanted to, keep myself company, entertain myself. So I'm going live to do that. So I had surgery on Tuesday and I'm finally moving around a little bit better today. And I've been knitting in bed a good bit. Not too much. I didn't knit it all yesterday, but the day before I did. And I figured I'd just finish up the sleeves on this sweater today so that I can block it and wrap it up and have it be done. I was doing a sweater for myself, but I kind of put that on pause and realized I had a lot of baby knits that I need to get done. And so I started, this one's folding really bad right now, but that's okay. I started the anchor sweater for baby girl. I did it in this nice pink. It's my throat's so yucky. Drops Fiesta. When I ordered yarn from, I want to say, no, it doesn't matter. I ordered yarn and I think it was Hobby. I ordered some yarn for a beanie and they took a really long time for the yarn to get to me, and so they put in a couple balls of Drops Fiesta, which I've never used before. I have no complaints. It's pretty nice. It hasn't like split or anything. It's been pretty nice to work with. It's a sock wool. I think it's a superwash, and it's been pretty nice. So I think it'll block nicely. I'm just gonna start setting some stitches aside onto my DPNs to get these sleeves done. Seems like the sleeves are only going to be like maybe 33 rows, but I'm doing decreases every 5 rounds. So I start off with 44 stitches, end up with 32, so it should go by pretty quick, I think. I usually fly pretty quick with DPNs, so I'm not too stressed about it. I think it'll turn out really cute. The baby shower for this one is on the 29th. So I'm glad that I was able to knock out pretty much the whole sweater today, or this week. I met up with a girlfriend last weekend and got it started and then just kind of set it off to the side because I knew I was going to be doing this. So yeah, I'm just going to get it on the needles. Hi from Japan. Good morning. I hope you're having a good day so far. Sorry if my voice is a little bit quiet. I have a very scratchy throat this morning. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, but I do have some tea that I'm going to be drinking here in a second. So I just got all my stitches on my DPNs. I need to pick up a couple stitches just to close the hole in the armpit, and yeah, it'll be cute. So this is, again, it's the Anchor sweater by Petite Knit. I've made this sweater quite a few times. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I made one for her, and then at the same time I had made one for my son, and then I made one for myself. And so it's one of my favorite sweaters that I've made. It's a very nice, easy pattern. The increases are really nice and easy as well. It's kind of fun to do because you're creating these kind of, not pleats, but what would they be called? I don't know, like shelves almost, these little steps and increases. And then it's easy because you only have like 3 or 4 raglan stitches to kind of flare out the armpit. So you're not doing like for mine, you're not doing like 15 rounds of raglan. It's just 3 or 4 max. But this is her toddler pattern, and I have quite a few of them. Thank you. It did turn out pretty cute, right? It's not like, it's got some nice little like white blended in there, so it's not so like bubblegum in your face pink. It's a little bit more mild, and I am curious as to how it's going to block. I think I think it'll block really nicely. I think it'll, sorry I was distracted, but I think it'll block really nicely, and the steps in here kind of become a little bit more flat and less puffed and aggressive. And yeah, this is one of my favorite patterns. I do have, I think after this one I have 4 more baby knits to do, but they're not really due until later in the year. But that's okay, and then I'd like to at least get them started and kind of like constructed, because in my brain I would really like to do an anchor sweater where, because this is just a 1x1 ribbing, I would like to alternate colors so that like the stitch that you see right here that's popped up, like the stockinette, like the knit stitch, I want that to be one color and the purl to be another color, and I want to alternate it. And then when I get to the body, have that be like that hidden alternated color. I want to be able to do a really cool design with this instead of just doing a solid. And I have an idea, but I feel like that's like a very tedious thing to be flipping the stitches so frequently, but I think it could turn out really, really cool. And I've been thinking about that for a while. So after this one, I'm going to start one for my daughter, because she hasn't had one since her newborn one, and she needs a new sweater. So even though it's summer technically in South Carolina already, I'd like her to have a cute little sweater to start off with in the fall. She has a couple knit dresses that, I don't know, she doesn't love them, so if I get her a sweater, she'll be nice and comfy, and she likes some very like oversized like sweatshirt style, so I think she'll like this. She has very sensitive skin though, so I have to be kind of picky about the type of yarn that I use, but I just have an idea and I just need it to come to life. So I think I want to do that maybe next. I think that could look really cool. I don't know. We'll play with that. We'll see. But I'm going to pick up my stitches, and yeah, I'm going to try to get this done. I don't know how long I'm going to be live today. This was just kind of a fluke of me wanting to get out of bed a little bit. And kind of, I've just been kind of laying in bed since Tuesday, really since Monday. So I just kind of wanted to put my body in a different position and get out of my room and get some fresh air. I was able to go sit on the porch a little bit earlier today. This morning I sat out there and was able to shower today, which is very nice. And I'm very sore and very swollen, but the pain is much different than it was the first day. So that's good news. I do plan on going back. It's a holiday weekend, so there's no work on Monday, but I do plan on going back to work on Tuesday to finish out. I'm a teacher, so I'd like to finish out my school year with my kids before they go to kindergarten. And, you know, just, yeah, it's been quite a week. So I'm going to pick up these stitches and get it started. But I hope you guys are having a good morning. I like to come live on here and kind of craft, just to be kind of like a virtual crafting buddy. I don't have like very many crafting groups where I live, and so I started going live on here almost 2 years ago now, just to keep people company while they knit or while they crochet or while they do what they do. And it's been a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to pick up stitches with a bare needle. I also need a beginning of round marker. Let's see. Sorry if you can hear my buzzing coming through my phone. I don't have a beginning round marker in here. Let me see if I have one. Grabbed everything but that. That doesn't make any sense. Let's see if I can scooch over, because I can't quite stretch over yet. One moment. Let's see if I can do this. Wow. Yeah, I got the body done pretty quick. I was pretty really flying through it the other day. I was so unbelievably bored. I couldn't find anything to like to watch or to like entertain. So if anybody's got any shows that they're watching or movies, please let me know, because I'll be in the bed pretty much all weekend again. But I would really like to, I don't know, have some background noise on, but man, I couldn't find a single thing that I wanted to watch all week. It's like, this is everything. There's just like too many options, and then the options that you're given are not great. So you're just, I was like, I'll just watch YouTube. It's pretty much what I did. Which way am I going? I don't love that. I'm gonna try to do it this way. Let's see if I can pick up this way instead of doing a fresh needle. Because if I picked up with a fresh needle, I would be going backwards, and I really don't want to do that. What did I do? Let's see. My yarn would be going that way. What did I do already? Oh, we'll figure it out together, yeah. I need to do 4 pickup stitches. But I don't like how that looks. I don't like how that looks at all. Okay. Maybe I should take them off the needles again, because I don't know how that looks. So there's one. Is it because I'm backwards right now? Potentially. It is because I'm backwards right now. My goodness. You can tell I'm having a rough time, guys. I'm completely backwards right now. That's okay. It's all good. Just forgot how to pick up stitches for a second. 1, 2, and they say to pick up 4. That's really pushing it. 3. It's pushing it like all the way this way. Okay. Ooh, 4. Is it pretty? No. Will it work? Yes. It will knit. That took me way longer than I wanted it to. But that's okay. And then I have my sheet over here that has my count, because I have to do a decrease every 5 rounds. And so I will be marking each round that I complete. Once I get back to my pickups, I'll put my marker in, because I didn't grab a marker that I could clip on. It's one that has to go on to the actual needle. But the beginning of the round will go in between the 4 stitches I just picked up. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to sit for as long as I can, because again, I've been laying down pretty much all week. When I get tired, I'll pop off, try to go get some more rest. I wish I could stop getting out of breath though. Just a lot going on in my chest right now. But yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be kind of a quiet morning, so again, I'm just going to be on here knitting, kind of like as a bonus live. Nothing too crazy, just kind of keeping myself company right now. Just kind of wanting to keep myself company, give myself some company. Yeah, it would be awesome if I could finish this sweater today. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't be able to, unless I just got really tired, but I would like to finish it today and have it all woven in this weekend so that I can start working on my project again and then cast on for my daughter. There's a lot of stitches. I gotta even out my stitches once I get situated. But that's okay. That kind of happens when you are doing the armpit. The first couple of rounds of doing the armpit are just awful. There's like big gaps. It's not aesthetically pleasing at all. But once you wind everything in, or weave everything in, it looks a lot better. But it just like, it looks terrible after you pick up the stitches until you're a couple of rounds in and can see what's going on. But I just put my marker in, and then I'm going to mark that I did one so that I do the correct amount of decreases. And then the way that I don't get it's kind of like ladders in my DPN stitches is I always carry one stitch over. So before I start my next needles, my next like needle, I'll scoot one of the stitches over, and that kind of creates a constant pattern instead of this like stretched gap between the needles. And then if I'm doing a 1 by 1, I refuse to start a needle on a purl. So I'll move as many stitches as I need to in order to make it to where I have a fresh knit stitch on my first needle. But yeah, this will start moving pretty good because it is, you're going to do 4 rounds and then you do a decrease round. And in that decrease, you're decreasing 2 stitches. So I'm already almost done with my second round, and then I'll decrease 2 stitches. And then the more decreases, obviously, the quicker you get done with your sleeve. And then I have just a couple rounds of 1 by 1 when I'm done with the sleeve, just to do the cuff. And it'll be really, really cute. I'm pretty happy with this yarn. Again, I've never used any drops before, and it's been really nice. It's been really easy on my hands, considering I was knitting for quite a few hours the other day. Very easy on my hands. It hasn't split at all. Yeah, it's actually really, really nice. I feel like I would order again. It feels really good, really like squishy. That's why I'm excited to block it and see how soft it gets after it's been washed. I'm actually going to scoot a couple of these stitches over because there's so many on this one needle. And I'm just going to start scooching some over to make it a little bit more even. Because if there's one needle that has like a ton of stitches on it and then another needle that has like 6, it just gets a little bit floppy and less structured in your like DPN square. And I like to have them as evenly distributed as I can, just to keep the structure, because you'll have like one really loose needle and it's like really, really frustrating. So I try to keep them as even as possible. Again, I'm going to tighten this hole in my armpit. All of that will get fixed in time. So excited yesterday. I got to see my kids. They came by for a little bit. And they're gonna come by again today since I'm healed up a little bit more. It was really nice yesterday being able to see them. I haven't seen them all week and I hate that. So I'm pretty excited to see them again today. Just for a couple hours since I can't pick up my daughter. Obviously, if I can't pick up her, I can't pick up my son either. So I'm pretty excited. Much more active in here this morning than I thought it would be. I'm glad you guys are up and going for it today. I haven't sit up for this long in a couple days. It is pretty uncomfortable. But that's okay. Gotta get my body moving. But I will be going live again this weekend too. I had somebody comment on my my short the other day. But I will be live this weekend too. So I will be just here getting some rest. So I will definitely be live again on Sunday. I'll probably be live again tomorrow too. Just because why not? I am here. And the kids are with their dad this weekend, so I'll be here just knitting. So it'll be easy to just come on here and go live. Like, going live is so motivating for me. I feel like I get so much done when I go live. Like on the boring parts of knitting, I feel like when I go live I get so much more done because I'm just chatting and I don't know, time goes by faster too. I feel like I sneak in a lot more rounds when I'm live than I do just sitting there like working on the body of a project and stuff like that. It definitely goes by faster when I'm live, which is probably why I was like, let me go knit a sleeve and go live real quick. But it'll be interesting to know how long it takes me to get this done. I feel like it's going to be a little bit, but yeah, I'll probably be on here for like an hour and then I'll go eat something and get some rest. And then, I don't know, depending on how I'm feeling, maybe I'll come back on later. Getting pretty excited though, guys. I do move pretty soon. So that'll be a big shift. Very exciting news. I'm buying a house about an hour away from where I currently live, and my family is about an hour away. My job is about an hour away. Everything's about an hour away. So I'm pretty excited to be closer to everything. We're coming up on the first decrease round. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, goodness, it still feels like it's so early in the morning. Alright, so now I'm going to decrease. I'm going to knit one, knit two together. Ooh, uh-oh, I'm stuck on a stitch. So just decrease one, and then I'm going to knit around. My needles keep getting caught because this project is so short. My needles keep getting caught in the stitches of the body of this sweater. I'm coming up on my next decrease. So you always do your decreases like near the beginning of the round. It's always like knit one, knit two together, and then do stitch your pattern like all the way to the last 3 stitches, and then knit 2 together, knit 1. It's always like the seam is always kind of right there, which makes it easy to remember too. You just really have to keep track of like, okay, I actually did, this actually is a decrease round kind of a situation, which is why I write everything down. Every chunk of a pattern, I write it down, which might seem like a lot of work, but like for this, I'm keeping track of the exact amount of rounds that I do so that my sleeves are the same size. There's been times in the past where I'm like, I'm confident, and then they were 2 completely different lengths. So it's just easier to, I don't know, do a tally mark. Doesn't take much to do a tally system. And I know I need to do like 4 rounds and then a decrease. So I just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 written. On number 5, I write decrease, and I just do a tally next to it. And it says I need to do it 6 times before I can start my ribbing. So I know that once I've got 6 tallies in each marker, I can start my ribbing. Like, it just makes it easier. So I've got 1, 2, 3. So I need to knit 2 more in here. And then I'll knit 2 together. Knit 1. Ta-da! I've done my decrease rounds. And then I start all over. It's also nice the way that this pattern is written so that I know, like I have to do 5 of these 6 times. So I know that my sleeve will be 30 rounds. Like I'm not here guessing like, oh, 12 centimeters. Like no, it needs to be 30 rounds and that's it. So much easier. Oh man. I'm uncomfortable. It doesn't hurt, it's just very uncomfortable. Tomorrow I'm going to try to actually go outside. I'm cleared to drive, so I think I'm, well, cleared to drive like today. So I think I'm going to try to go venture to the store because I need some groceries. And I feel like Instacart and stuff with all the fees attached to everything, like it's just such a scam. So I'm gonna try to go out and about, depending on how today and tonight goes. I absolutely love doing baby knits, though. I'm so okay with the amount that I need to do. It's not all for babies, but like I consider anything below a teen a baby knit. It's not gonna go a toddler knit, a child knit. No, they're all baby knits. Because you can buy a 0 to 3 with a 4 to 5, you know. So I'm gonna be making one for my son. I'm gonna be making one for my daughter. I'm gonna be making one for my girlfriend who's pregnant, and her 2 kids. So that's 5 right there. And then I have this one. So it's actually 6 that I'm making. I feel like there was another one I needed to make. I'm not gonna lie. No, it's gone. I'll remember. On top of my own width, I'm making the key sweater petite knit. Is it a petite knit? I'm pretty sure it's petite knit. I like the way she writes her patterns. They're very easy for me to understand. I purchased some patterns like off of Etsy I've had some really good luck with some Etsy patterns, but other ones I'm like, whoa, you wrote this in your own language, like your own kind of knitting language to where this makes sense to you. And I just am like, what is happening here? Some people use charts in such an unnecessary way too, where it's like, just tell me how many to knit and where to put my raglan markers, you know? I don't need a chart for that. But it's like, see the chart, and then I have to look at the chart and the placement and then count tallies on the chart. And I'm like, this is just so unnecessary. Just write, you know, K14, PM, knit 1. Like, I don't know. I feel like some of the Etsy patterns are so overcomplicated, and I've had a lot of luck with petite knit. I would like to get a knitting for Olive one because she's got so many cute little girl knits, and I've started dabbling in more color work this year, so I would like to use some of her patterns, but just haven't gotten there yet, but that's okay. But I think that's why I also want to challenge myself with some color work on the anchor sweater, because I do feel like it could be so cool if I did it two-toned instead of just a singular color. Okay, I'm gonna check and see if my kids texted me at all. Sorry guys. I could hear it buzzing, but it's mostly just emails, so that's okay. I keep sitting forward, and that's very uncomfortable. It was funny going outside this morning. I tried to like have my coffee on the porch, and I was like, wow, I haven't been outside in a few days. And I was like, gosh, it's already like very hot outside, and it got me really excited actually, because I'm someone who I just live outside, but I'll have like an actual porch soon, and I got so excited for just porch mornings. Because right now I'm like on a second story, and so it's not sketchy by any means, but it just makes me nervous because my daughter likes to climb things, and so the whole time I'm like stressed out. But it'll be so nice to just let them play outside and just be able to, I don't know, be outside and roam in a more comfortable way instead of just on this little sliver on the apartment. I'm glad I have one though, because I have been in apartments that didn't have a porch at all. So it's definitely nice that I at least have one. I love when you go from like this really funky situation in a project and you're like, oh, it actually looks like a sweater now. It actually makes me laugh almost every single time. Like once you get through the yoke and you take, the stitches off for the sleeves, I'm like, oh, okay, it actually is a sweater. I'm not losing my mind. Yeah, I feel like this sleeve might take me like an hour and a half. Maybe closer to 2 hours. Maybe not, I don't know. Started watching some shows yesterday just to kind of like, I don't know, try to like zone out and relax to. What's it called? I think it was called like 56 Days or something like that. I think it was on Amazon. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. I was like, this could be so good. And it was so bad. I don't even think I finished the first episode. And then I started, there's a jet going over right now, sorry. And then I started Rooster, which I think is on HBO, and that was okay, but then I found myself scrolling, so I wasn't that entertained. And then I was like, all right, let me just try to finish Poldark, which I've really been struggling with that show. My brother was just adamant on how much I was going to love Poldark, and I just don't, which makes no sense because those are typically my favorite shows, but I just don't connect with him. I think that he's a bad man. So, or no, not a bad man, but I think he's a very selfish man. So, I just don't really care. And so I'm really struggling with that. So I put that on and then I was like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to go to sleep for a little bit. And I tried to do that. And I just found myself with nothing to watch. So I've been knitting, or I've been, you know, talking to the kids on video and just kind of like laying there in silence, just trying to rest up. Yeah. I'm not somebody that does well, like being cooped up inside. I am an outside person. I do not do well being stuck in bed. Today I'm just gonna knit and try to read. I am reading a pretty hefty book right now. So I was gonna just kind of have like a chill day, like a no scrolling kind of day, because I have found myself, because I've just laying there, I've been on my phone a lot, and I don't love that for me. And I notice like the more I scroll, the more like tainted my algorithm gets, and I don't love that either. Like it'll be all happy good stuff, and then I realize like the longer I'm on my phone, the darker my algorithm turns. I'm like, why we started here? Why are we here? And I just don't love that. So maybe I do need to read. I also was on Facebook and looking up like events near me. And this is a good ways away. It's a little over an hour away from me, but there's this person who's hosting a silent book club. And I was like, that would be a really nice way to meet some people and, you know, do something different, I feel. So I might go and do that soon. That could be really fun. Since I am moving out towards that way, that could be a cool way to make some new friends. Yeah, lots of life shifts happening right now, which is a good thing. I'm actually very excited about it. Not all life shifts are bad. Some of them are very much necessary, and I feel like putting myself out there and going somewhere that I wouldn't typically go is a good way to kind of encourage the shift and meet some people. But I'm reading Jennifer Armentrout, ? The Blood and Ash series. I'm still reading that. It is not her best work, in my opinion, for how large the book is. All of the books in that series are very big, though. But I've said this a couple times that I have just like digested, inhaled those books. I thought the story was so cool, and it was cool that it went like present time to prequel, like in between the books. Like every other book was, you know, it was a different storyline, and I thought that was so cool because you're connecting with so many characters. And this book is kind of like combining the two timelines, almost like combining the characters from both timelines, and it is not hitting the way that it should. The first 100 pages, I was like, sweet Yoda, get this over with. Now I'm like 200 pages in, I'm still bored. Like, this is wild. I would have read this whole thing in a weekend in a past life. Like, why does this book suck so much? Huge disappointment so far. And I know my girlfriend was reading it too, and I don't know if she ever finished it. Knit one, knit two together. I don't know if she ever finished it, but yeah, no, not my favorite. But I do have some other books on the lineup that are just sitting there ready for me to finish. I really want to like finish a book before I start another one, so that I don't feel obligated to go back. Unless I know I'm not going to finish the book, I won't like do that. But I know I will finish this one, so I'm just kind of like dancing around it. So that's a goal today. Maybe I'll make some food. Once I hit the hour mark on here, I'll go make some food and fuel up, and maybe I'll read for a little bit. See what that does. Goodness. Yeah, I probably will come back on here later today and I'll cast on my other sleeve. I know I will finish this one. I'm already 10 rounds in. Only have 20 more. Not too shabby. I'm so excited to have a garden again, guys. I'm just like drooling over the thought of having my garden again. I don't know, I had to pause my other YouTube channel really because it was kind of hard to do it in here, I'm not gonna lie. So I kind of paused it, and I'm excited to start sharing over there again and start getting some like garden to table baked goods and stuff, because that was such a big thing with me and my son. Ooh, sorry, sneezing really hurts. That was such a big thing with me and my son when he was younger, and I would love for my daughter to have those experiences too, of being in the dirt and growing her own food and being able to pick things from the garden. Like, that was such a huge like mom moment for me with my son that my daughter has not gotten to experience, and so I'm pretty excited for her to be able to enjoy the garden and everything. Like, that's one of the first things I want to get in for my new house, because I'm buying a house. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, so excited. My son is so excited too. My daughter's too little still, but my son, he has seen the difference of like living in a home and then coming to an apartment. So he knows like what it's like to live in a home. It's looking like a sleeve. Knitting is so wild. Tiny little knots can make something so cool. This is one thing that I'm like forever grateful that I picked up, because even when I go through like spells of not doing it at all, once I pick it up, I'm like, man, this is like magic. My girlfriend that crochets, she just started doing granny squares recently for the first time, and I've seen so many videos of like, I feel like I'm gonna start to get the hiccups and they're so painful. I've seen so many videos of content creators like struggling with a granny square, right? This girl just pumped them out like they were absolutely nothing. Just by, I think she just did like a tutorial on YouTube, and she is pumping out these granny squares, and it blew my mind. I don't think she understands how many people I've seen complain about how hard a granny square is, and I was just like, you have no idea how talented you are. No clue. Like, you just did that like out of like, what do you mean you're done already? How is that possible? Like, how did you do that so fast? I think when we went knitting last, I think she pumped out like 6 of them, just like, and I didn't even see it happen. It happened so quickly. It was like every time I looked at her, she was casting on a new one. Like, how do you do that? How is that possible? I don't know. She's amazing. I think I'm gonna have like the right amount of yarn to finish this. I'm gonna be so like big mad if I have to buy yarn. Cause I was just given like 2 of these little balls. And I didn't really look much into it. Not gonna lie. I just kind of, was like, I have 2 of these and it's a baby net. Let's see if I can get rid of this like extra yarn that I have. And I feel like I'm gonna have just enough, but I do tend to play chicken way more than I should. But I think because I'm almost halfway done with this sleeve, I do think I'll have enough. Okay, sorry if you can hear my phone buzzing. It was the girlfriend that crochets, she's out of town. So I was making sure that she got to where she's going okay. She made me this insane, I guess if you go look at my short, I put in like the giant pot pie. She's the one that made that. The thing was a monster, my gosh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get to my next decrease round and then I will hop off and then I'll hop back on later. I'm gonna go eat something. Starting to get hungry. I haven't eaten yet this morning just because everything's just sore and so I didn't feel like it, but I think I'm gonna actually make myself breakfast. And the only tricky thing about trying to go grocery shopping, to go pick up a couple of things, is I have stairs and I can't carry very much weight, and so I don't want to have to do like multiple trips up and down stairs just to be able to carry a couple things. I need to do the pros and cons of this situation. Like, because I can't carry anything over like 10 pounds right now, and so if I'm trying to carry all my groceries upstairs, it's just not gonna work. I'm so excited. I'm so glad I came on here. This has kept me so focused. It's supposed to it was actually really nice, and this is gonna sound crazy. It was nice and humid out this morning. The humidity, we've been in a bit of a drought in South Carolina, so the humidity has not picked up yet. And it was so nice to walk outside this morning, kind of feel the thickness in the air. Like, oh, this feels right. We're supposed to get an absolute insane amount of rain, like so much rain, and I'm really excited. I might just do I order food? Be delivered? I don't know. I kind of want to like crock pot some stuff today and just have like a slow cooked, make my house feel cozy kind of situation. I'm like talking, I think I'm talking about food a lot. My tummy's growling. But I just kind of have a lot of fruit right now, and I have a lot of like, not so much snacks because it's like fruit and vegetables, but it's more like my snacks. That's kind of what I snack on. My girlfriend, her name is Amber, so I can just stop calling her my girlfriend, but Amber met me at Sam's Club so I can stock up on some things since the kids are with my mom. Since I can't pick them up or anything, my mom's helping out an insane amount. And I stocked up on stuff at Sam's Club and dropped a bunch of things off at my mom's and then took some things home, and I was like, I'm not going to eat a Sam's Club bag of cucumbers this week. Why did I do this? Why did I do that? Like, if I don't have my kids, like, this food is not going to get eaten. What was I thinking? And so I have like all these random like healthy kid snacks. So my kids pretty much just, you know, do like tapas all day. But it's just funny. It's like, what am I doing? I'm gonna be in the bed. I'm not gonna sit, like, no one else is eating this giant bag of vegetables with me. Or this huge container of blueberries. I'm not gonna do this by myself. No sense. Yeah, I'm gonna hop off in just a minute. I'm almost to my final decrease. Well, not my final decrease, but my final decrease for this situation. I would say, like, beginning to end in this video, it took me maybe 30 minutes to do halfway. So I feel like that's not bad. Yeah, because I'm on row 369, 12 right now. I'm not. What am I on? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm on row 13. So I only need, I was going to get to row 15 to be at my halfway mark. So do this round. And then my decrease, and then I'll call it alive. And then I'll come back on. When I come back on, this sleeve will probably be done. And then I'll just cast on the next one and we'll finish this sweater together today. That's exciting. Oh man. Definitely gonna need to lay down pretty soon. I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna eat. I don't have anything that I want. I want like a breakfast sandwich. I don't have that though. I need to start meal prepping again, guys. I need you to motivate me. Motivate me to meal prep. I'm actually going to have no choice here pretty soon because my schedule is going to be changing with my new job. And so I'll be getting off a little bit later. Actually, a good bit later because I'm going back to full-time work. So I'll be getting off later. And my kids go to bed so early still because they're little. And so when I get home from work, that's typically when we're eating dinner. So I won't be starting to make dinner until later and everything like that. So I need to start meal prepping for sure. And I need to start utilizing a crock pot and like getting my life together a little bit. Just having to commute to work and being a single mom and commuting and like having all these places that I have to go in between makes it really hard to stay organized. So I'm really excited to be moving closer to my mom because she'll be watching the kids while they're not in school, and just being able to go straight home and like, I don't know, have a normal routine. This spending an hour in the car every day just has thrown off everything in life. And so I've been doing that since September and I'm kind of over it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of over it. So some people commute by choice, some people don't mind the commute. I mind the commute. I'm over it. All right, send my decrease around. I need to scooch a stitch over. This is so sketchy the way that I did that. But I need an extra stitch on here so that I can do my knit one. Because I ended up with only 2 stitches left and I needed 3. And then I'll connect. I also like the way that I move my stitches around too, because then I don't end up with like a seam. I did notice that on my striped sweater, like it was inevitable, but I ended up with a seam along the entire back of where I carried my yarn up. I don't love it, but it also, like, it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. But the way that I do my carrying of the stitches with DPNs, like I don't get a seam of where my decreases are. They're kind of like blended in. I learned a lot with DPNs. The first thing I ever did with DPNs was the Stephen West sock. One of his like surprise knit along situations, which I should really do another one. It was so much fun. But that was the first time I ever worked DPNs, first time I ever did a sock, and first time I ever did color work. And I went into that with so much confidence, and it turned out amazing. But I also didn't know how to do yarn yet, and so I washed and dried them and shrunk them immediately, even though it took me forever to make them. I don't know. I was only like a couple months into knitting when I did that. Like a fool. Because I did Keens and Co. like really nice yarn. And totally botched it. I should remake those socks. It's not a terrible idea. You guys heard that thing with like Harry Styles doing American Girls in a different country, and they booed it the whole time until he changed it to where he was currently singing. I don't know why that's stuck in my head. That story stuck in my head. I think it's absolutely hilarious. It's like my random thought for the morning. I think it's absolutely hilarious. It makes so much sense. Why wouldn't you plug in where you are to that song? It's like the perfect song to manipulate to wherever you are currently performing. I think it's very funny. He had to learn to do that, and it didn't just come out naturally for him. Anyway, this is my pop culture moment for the morning. I saw Harry Styles when I was pregnant with my son. I was like 8 months pregnant with my son, and I had no business being there, but it was so much fun. I was so pregnant. Oh my god, so pregnant. We bought those tickets during COVID times, and it was a rescheduled show, and I wasn't pregnant when we had originally bought the tickets, but then when it was time for the rescheduled show, I was literally like 8 months pregnant. Because I also saw Green Day when I was like 6 months pregnant, because that was also COVID tickets. All right, my decreases are done, guys. That worked out beautifully. We're like an hour on the dot almost. Let me carry more stitch. Beautiful. I'm halfway done with the sleeve. It looks so cute. Oh my gosh. It's folding pretty good, which is very annoying to me, but it's okay. When I block it, it'll all flatten out and it'll be so pretty. But yeah, a little baby knit. All right, I'm gonna go eat something and probably take a little nap and rest my body, and then I will be back on a little bit later. This is looking so cute. I love the little sleeve so much. And these people live up north, so this will definitely get some love, I think. I'm excited about it. But I'll be back on later to finish the other sleeve. I'm going to go get some rest and some food and all that good stuff. But if you did chime in this morning, thanks for being here. This is kind of a little bit of a bonus live just to keep myself entertained while I'm healing up. But I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye.